What is going on, everybody? My name is Ark and welcome to another video. Now this video is going to be yet another rant because I haven't done one of those in a while now, have I? No, I rarely do rant videos, don't I? I rarely do them. So I decided that I need a little bit of variety in my videos. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about what happened just the other day involving Greenpeace. Oh, those funny people them. And the insane irony that they don't understand is happening during their protest the other day. So we're going to go through this news article first, and then I'm going to go through another article and then give my thoughts on it, give my little 2 cents on it. And then I would appreciate knowing what you think on the subject, because it's, personally to me, I find it quite stupid, but hey, I'm open to other people's opinions. If you think what they did is alright, then yeah, let me know. Here we have thousands of imported Volkswagen diesel cars seized at Sheerness docks by Greenpeace activists. 2 men and women have been arrested after Greenpeace activists in kayaks and boats boarded a 23,000-ton ship on a major import route bringing Volkswagen diesel cars into the UK. The Clean Air campaigners drew up alongside the huge car carrier in the Thames estuary around 8:30 AM. They hung from the 27-metre high unloading door and said they would not disembark until VW committed to take its toxic cars back to Germany. Here it says, meanwhile, more than 40 volunteers scaled the fences at Sheerness docks, the intended destination of the ship, and gained access to the vehicle park where several thousand VW cars are awaiting distribution to suppliers. The volunteers attempted to immobilise all of the VW diesel cars by removing the keys. They also lifted the bonnets and labelled the engines with messages from 8,000 people, including many car owners calling on VW to ditch diesel. The German car giant imports tens of thousands of vehicles through Sheerness, one of Britain's largest car ports, every year. Janet Barker, a support worker from Powys, I don't fucking know how to pronounce that. Powys, I don't fucking know. It's in Wales. It's a Welsh name. Bloody hell, of course it's going to be hard to pronounce. And one of the volunteers taking action said, diesel cars are toxic, so we're here to block VW imports on behalf of all the children who are most acutely affected by the health impacts of diesel fumes. VW's polluting vehicles are adding to a public health emergency harming thousands of people. This is going to be a point that I'm going to come back on later. She added, the government says we need to wait another 23 years for dirty diesels to be banned. We can't wait that long. So we're stepping in and seizing all of VW's diesel cars to stop them harming people's health and the environment. We're not leaving until VW takes its toxic cars back to Germany. As Europe's largest car maker, VW needs to wake up, smell the emissions and go fully electric. And then it goes on about how a couple of years ago they were caught cheating on emissions tests, which that was 2 years ago. Keep it real, that was 2 years ago now. What? No, nearly 3 years ago. 2-3 years ago now. Activists have hung a 50 square metre banner on the ship's unloading ramp showing the face of 2-year-old Sefi covered by an air pollution mask. She has respiratory problems and represents all children affected by air pollution. Then it says about them putting these sorts of banners around the car park as well. A Peel Port's spokesman said Greenpeace protesters had illegally entered secure areas of the port of Sheerness. He added, these areas are restricted to ensure that UK border security is preserved and we protect the safety of our customers and employees working on the port. We are working with police, Greenpeace and VW to resolve the situation. Then it goes on about how they want to protect everyone and all that sort of stuff. And police were called to the port. A spokesman said officers' primary role was to facilitate a peaceful protest, to prevent and detect crime and disorder, and to ensure the safety of public, the protesters and the police. He confirmed 1 man had been detained on suspicion of aggravated trespass, while the other man and woman were arrested under the Merchant Shipping Act 1995 on suspicion of entering a vessel. So I do understand what Greenpeace are trying to do here. Diesel cars do create quite a bit of pollution, of course, but then you've got to think about there's not just Greenpeace in the world. There is diesel cars because they're better with fuel. the fuel in them lasts a lot longer than petrol, and that's why they're used, due to the higher burn rate on it. They also mention about electric cars, and now electric cars are the future, but it's like what Jeremy Clarkson said on the Grand Tour. I think it was the last episode of the series. He said that electric cars are the future, but the range on them just isn't enough. They use too much electricity in one drive. It's not worth it at the moment. Once the range on them has been improved greatly, then sure, everyone will switch over. But then there's also the fact that there's not many electric fuel stations around. That's another thing. I think the main ones are in London and like dotted around the countryside every so often. But there's not enough of them yet. And then you've got to think about people like me. Like, I have to drive around a lot for my job. And if I had an electric car, I can't just be doing my job, then halfway through the day run out of power, have to come back home, recharge it, which could take about 10 hours, and then I'll be late doing my job constantly. It's not correct for people like me. So yeah, I do believe electric cars are the future. It's just they need greater range on them. Otherwise, people like me will continue using petrol and diesel cars for many years to come. Also, my other car is a diesel, and I absolutely love that car. I wouldn't get rid of it just because Greenpeace wants it rid of. And this comment here on the website here, this is actually very conclusive of what I'm trying to say in this video pretty much. These sad individuals who call themselves Greenpeace, and they're so full of their self-importance as well as their righteousness. Well, for a start, that is piracy, which is a criminal offence, and the engines on their boats will be run by diesel engines. Greenpeace has lost all credibility and all that sort of stuff. They think they could do what they want without breaking the law. And then you've got other people saying about how some of these cars on these ships, they could be for mobility. Like, people need these cars. Some people actually need these cars, and Greenpeace is just getting in the way. So yeah, that is one of the things that I wanted to touch on as well, is the amount of crimes they have committed doing this. First of all, it's breaking and entering, like, into a secure area where they shouldn't be. That's illegal. Trespassing, that's what I was thinking of. That's illegal. Yes, the cars were unlocked, and I'm assuming the cars are unlocked, but they somehow got access to the keys and they stole the keys. That's theft. If the cars were unlocked, even though they're in a secure area, they're not meant to be getting into there. That is still, I would class it as breaking and entering technically, because they're not meant to be in that area anyway, and yet they're unauthorised entering these vehicles. And then I would say that it includes some sort of vandalism maybe, because they're raising the bonnets of the cars and putting stickers and shit all over the engines. I would personally class as vandalism. And then they illegally boarded a vessel, which that is basically piracy. They forced it off of its route to Sheerness and stopped it out in the ocean, and they threatened that they would not leave until their demands were met. That is basically piracy. Honestly, I bet as soon as the police turned up, most of these activists scattered. I bet. But you know what these activists should really do? They should go ahead, go out, go to the job centre and get a fucking job. And I think that's the first time I swore in this video. Well, rip my ad revenue. Shit. So yeah, it's clear these people don't have jobs, because this happened on the 20th to 21st. The article was put up on the 21st, which was a Thursday. So it's clear these people don't have jobs. Otherwise, why would they even be there? Like, a lot of people were there, so now I want to show this article from 2009, which just shows the pure irony of Greenpeace right now. I'm only going to share a few lines of it, because that pretty much proves my point. So then, the description of this picture right at the top of the page says here, 15 of the world's biggest ships may now emit as much pollution as all the world's 760 million cars. As of April 23, 2009, Guardian's reported a new research showing that in 1 year, a single large container ship can emit cancer and asthma-causing pollutants equivalent of that of 50 million cars. And this is the part I find most ironic, is that they're protesting these cars by hijacking a ship which creates more pollution than all of those cars combined. Is the irony not obvious? And my final point is that where the ship had to be taken off course to make sure that the shipping lane was clear for any other ships to come through, that burnt more fuel just to move it off course, and then it burnt even more fuel just to put it back on course. I only googled this just to find out how much more pollution a ship of this size would create. It's just common knowledge that a ship this size would create more pollution than those cars. If they wanted to make a change, then why don't they protest these ships instead? Why not? So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I'll leave the article links in the description section as well. I haven't done YouTube in a while, I'm trying to remember stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think the amount of irony is insane. It's stupid, honestly. It is really stupid. So yeah, I thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe as per usual. Check out the on-screen links for other videos that I have done. Comment down below your thoughts. I personally think this is really stupid. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Britain only produces 5% more power than it actually consumes. That's now. So if everybody starts buying electric cars, the power stations won't be able to cope. There'll be power cuts, and then there will be looting and anarchy. That's what James is doing. He is bringing Britain to its knees.